This is the regular meeting of the Eastland City Commission. It is January 20th. I will lead the prayer and I've asked Richard to do the pledge. Let's pray. Father, we thank you for this opportunity to be here and serve this community. We thank you for our community and all the support that we have and so many people that are involved in helping to make things better. It's truly a blessing, Father. We pray for those who are dealing with health issues and dealing with the loss of loved ones this past few months. We are blessed for the life that we have, that we can be here and enjoy the freedoms that we have. Father, in Jesus' name, amen.
Amen. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Honor the Texas flag. I pledge allegiance to thee, Texas, one state under God, one and indivisible.
Thank you. If you have a silent phone, I'll ask you to do that at this time. Nothing on public comment. I ask you to approve the minutes of the December 15th, December 18th, and January 6th meetings. You've got a copy of those.
I've reviewed. I'll make a motion to approve all three as they stand.
A motion time to approve all three of those sets of minutes.
I'm going to abstain because I wasn't here.
I'll second that.
Shirley has made a second. Any other discussion? All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. Motion carries. Financial report. Show off.
Thank you.
Yeah.
For the first time, we have a packet that the financial report was in our packet.
That's cool.
That is remarkable, and things look good. Anybody look at that and have any questions or comments? I had a couple, and those have been answered by Savannah, so.
Look it over that one.
Well, I understand it's not a good time to be asking questions because so much gets paid at the first of the year and blows up percentages for things get paid. But it's all in good shape.
The sales tax is trending nicely.
Sales taxes,
I said it's trending well.
oh yeah, it's healthy. The trend lines are still there. It's amazing. It's good. Thank you, Lindsay, for having that done. Do you have any questions for us? You got any answers that we didn't ask questions to? No, I don't ask. Thank you. All right. Update regarding the polar plunge.
Doug.
Doug?
Doug's going to give you a report, yes.
Tim got cold.
So Polar Plunge 2 is this Saturday, if you don't know about it. We're going to separate the men from the boys. So
I'm out.
that's all right.
I'm out.
doing that.
I'll admit it
So
right up
anyway,
front.
thanks for all the support, both chiefs, the mayor, Savannah, Tom, Roma, Lindsay, myself, Bobby Jacoby represented the city well amongst all the police officers and the firefighters. It was a great day. It was our first actual community-related event associated with the pool, and it benefited the Eastland County Food Pantry tremendously. So we had a total of 33 nominations, 26 plungees, 7 duplicates, of which only Roma and Savannah went down twice. Thank you. Ms. Brown's Coffee Shop sold coffee and hot chocolate and was well received. And just like with the pool over the summer, we had a family come in from the DFW area to participate. How they heard about us, I don't know, probably through Facebook or something like that, and then they spent $34 at the concession stand. So word about the pool is getting out, and we appreciate that. But we really
Just for the record, though, I want to be clear.
Okay.
Savannah went down twice, but the only reason she went the second time was because her daughter wanted to
I
go.
still went twice.
Well, thanks for
You still went twice.
Do you want to know why I went twice?
You don't want me to answer that, but yeah.
No, because he couldn't be there. So he was nominated, and I took his nomination. You're welcome.
And about when I changed clothes after I watched a couple, and I could feel the cold wind on my back, and I wouldn't change clothes. And I came back out, and Kathy said, "Who is that swam down the pool?"
Lindsay.
Who was
Lindsay.
that?
Lindsay.
She got turned around.
She went for a swim. She didn't
Yeah,
go for
I remember. I saw you on that.
That's good.
Okay.
Nice day.
So we need to give special recognition to Jimmy Pitzer and Mays. They came up with a novel idea of putting a little bucket at their cash register to raise money. Their customers and waitresses donated, and they single-handedly raised $100. So kudos for them. I think we're gonna take some of that knowledge and use it next year and maybe put buckets around the city and businesses that wanna participate and raise even more money and get more nominations. We also had support from 3 buyouts, Terry Slavens, Mark Pipkin, and Sheriff Jason Wedger. We appreciate their support. Anyway, total raise from nominations buyout was $975, which goes strictly to the pool. Our goal was 500, so we really doubled that. So thanks to everybody that participated. We took in 416 canned good donations with an estimated value of $750 for the Eastland County Food Pantry. When I took those and dropped them off, they were just tremendously ecstatic because they'd been wiped out through the holidays. They weren't empty, but we really filled their pantries back up. We had a wide variety of things. We had anything from a canned ham to cereal to pancake mix to all your fruits and vegetables and things like that. The only disappointment we had, I overestimated t-shirt sales. I really thought people would want to buy t-shirts to commemorate it. We bought 6 dozen. We've sold 36. The others are on sale right now. We'll get rid of them either, just through word of mouth or whatever. But I learned my lesson there. I really thought people would support us with the purchase of a t-shirt. So our next pool community event is our first ever Splash 5K Dash. It's a 3.1 mile fun run and walk that starts and stops at the pool. It also coincides with opening day on Saturday, May the 30th. We're already advertising for that, and we're still seeking sponsors. If anybody knows a sponsor or a business that wants to participate, turn them our way. But as of today, we have 5 commitments, and we've raised $2,150, which basically was already paid for the race itself, because as a nominee, or as an entrant, you pay $25, so that covers that cost. So if you're East $25, we hope to see you there.
Thank you, Doug.
Yep.
Thanks, Doug.
Thank you, sir. That's great. That's a great idea.
Are these pictures of shirts that you're thinking about ordering, or
We already have
oh,
those.
you already have those? Both styles?
They're buy one, get one free right now, so buy one for 20, we'll give you 2.
Cute.
No, Doug, that's the wrong picture. The picture on the bottom is the 5K shirt that she's
5K.
looking at.
Okay.
Yeah,
I think it's a front and back, isn't it? Isn't it the front and back?
well, it's,
No, that's
one
just
says
a
I survived the splish splash, the other one just says splish splash.
a mock-up for
Oh,
us.
okay, so
We don't have shirt
You haven't
designs
ordered
finalized.
We won't order those yet, and they're gonna be black with neon colors on them.
oh, okay.
Which one's the buy one, get one free? Both of them or the
Polar.
5K?
No, the polar
The
plunge.
polar plunge shirts.
Can you buy one for half price?
Sure.
Probably.
All right, Gary Ford,
Jeez, that was fast.
next year.
Mr. Ford. Well, I'm not asking for money this time, believe it or not. I'm just giving us kind of a state of the lyric end of the year report. And the financials were all in your packet. And I'm not going to go over any of that, but if anybody has any questions, you can ask. This is just some of the stats, it's just statistics for the lyric. And I was going to mention that if you
Just
wanted
tell me
to.
which one you want.
The
first one?
number 1, and then we can do 1, 2, 3, and 4. So the first page is the attendance, and this attendance is set up for 2023, 2022, 2023, and the next page is 2024 and 2025. And so this is the attendance of people that have come to events. And so you can see that it's grown a lot in the last 4 years. We had 1,400 people this year that attended events, 1,500 total, including people that were helping work the show or the event. And that's nice to see. Plus the number of events that we've had has been fairly constant since 2023. We're hoping to grow that a little bit more this year with more things that we're doing. And then on the third page, you can see there's some 2023, 2024, and 2025 volunteer hours worked. This is something I've mentioned, I think, every time we get up. Last year, we ended up with 9,600 volunteer hours, which is mind-boggling. And 98% of that is community theater related. I mean, it's staggering how much community theater is takes a lot of work. Rehearsal and rehearsal. Yeah, and that includes the actors rehearsing, and it includes people helping around the edges. So it's everything. It's all of that. and working the show. We have people doing timesheets on a regular basis, and it really helps us keep track of what's going on. On the last sheet, we have the other thing I tend to talk about when I come. This last time I was here, I mentioned a number of cities that people were from that spent money at the Lyric. Of course, that wasn't a complete year. So here I show a side-by-side comparison of 2023, 2024, and 2025. So this year we had 52, at the very bottom of each column is the total number of cities. So we had 52 cities that spent money at the Lyric for a total of almost $25,000. So that's pretty crazy.
That's amazing.
It is amazing. And, I mean,
The other deal you gave us in our packet showed the states first, and there's
yeah, the one I gave you in your packet wasn't as
Colorado,
sophisticated as
Oklahoma.
this.
there's about 6 states: New Mexico, California. That was Tom. North Carolina. Wow, that's just.
You know, and some of those you just kind of want. I know some of those people definitely had relatives that were in the show, but you just kind of wonder, like North Carolina, was that somebody just driving down the interstate that happened to be spending the night in a
Well, it's
hotel?
like a swimming pool.
Yeah, like
I
swimming pool.
mean, somebody from Fort Worth came there. We had what was it, family Idaho
Yeah.
coming through and want to give the kids something to do and get them burn some energy. Stopped at Walmart, bought swimsuits.
Yep.
Came out here swimming to the pool from Idaho. Just pulled off the interstate in Eastland, Texas. I'm assuming Google a swimming pool, and we came up.
Family of 8.
Family of 8.
That's crazy.
The parents needed the pool, not the kids.
The parents needed a break.
That's amazing. I'm glad you do those stats. We talked about that
Well,
before.
it's worth doing, and it's
That's really interesting.
you know, speaking of people, you know, pulling off the interstate, I had sent. I don't know if anybody got it, but I sent all the commissioners a month ago, maybe, the URLs that you could log into the old Zoo Trail dashboard and Eastland, the county RIP, old RIP dashboard. And that's just another example of those are all people. The old RIP trail, the old Zoo Trail has people intentionally driving from Fort Worth, from Granbury, from Abilene to go hike at that trail. They're not coming there accidentally. They're doing that because it's something to do. And the old RIP probably represents people for some reason that know about it, that are driving down the interstate, because they're nearly all out of state. You know, the few people that manage to actually fill out the registry. It's crazy, but people really are looking for things to do. So,
Well, I think it's really
Pretty cool.
important for us is if we ever get challenged about how we spend hotel motel money, this is telling
Oh, yeah,
that's
absolutely.
very.
the heads and the beds, okay?
That net income is up a lot.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's
yeah, that's
rolling, baby.
it's well, you know, of course we spend that much money on electricity and gas and water.
But you'll still take donations, right?
But anyway, if y'all don't have any questions, I'll sit down. If you have
Anybody have any questions for
anything you want
Gary?
to ask, I'll be more than happy to go.
Thank y'all. Thank all of you.
Okay, thank you. And Gary Lee was going to mention BCT.
Well, Tom had mentioned last meeting I was here when we asked for help with costumes. And he said, do you have a P&L? Because this was after the fact of the show. And I said, well, we don't have one yet. But I did add one in your list to show the P&L for that. So it's really easy to do one once we have all the numbers in.
I was just going to share real quick how well that went because y'all support does amazing things and is so beneficial. And I just want y'all to know, at the beginning of that process, it was a little scary and daunting. You know, we cast 32 actors, had about 20 crew members, and when you have 50 people in the space, you go, oh, what do we do? But by the end of it, we had 32 people on that stage from our community, probably half of which had acted before, and the other half haven't in like 40 years or are just now starting, and it's really beautiful. And we are able to, with the money that y'all have voted on giving us, thank you so much for that. We've been able to actually costume these people and give them something to be proud of and give the community something that people will drive in to see, because so many community theaters don't have that support and can't, they can do a show, they have great actors, but they can't costume it. They can't get lights on it. They can't do all the things that need to happen for it to be really beautiful. So thank you for that. And yeah, we oversold every night, fully sold out, to the point where people were coming in and saying, "Are you sure I can't just sit on this couch?" And we were saying, "We'll sell you a ticket if you want to sit on the couch." Yeah. So in a 90-seat house, we were selling out over 100 tickets every night, and it's thank you for that. Beautiful.
Well, thank y'all for
Working
doing
hard.
that. It's going very well.
So, and we're doing a cabaret in February. We're starting an improv team this year, as well as keeping our other things going. So you can expect more.
Are you having people that's acted in your play come back and want to do the next one, or do
Oh, for sure.
repeat offenders, if
Every
you will?
time.
Cool.
Every time I have most of them just saying someone's the next audition.
That's fun. Let's do it.
And then some have to say, "Oh, I have to take a break for the next one because I'm getting married, or I have all this. I have to work for a few months, but I'll be back in the summer." So they always want to come back, which is
Y'all doing a great job.
beautiful.
All right.
So,
Y'all doing a
thank
great
you.
job. Good luck.
Just speaking of the actors coming back, we had a really nice comeback this time. Sherry Phillips.
Oh, yeah.
She gonna do it again?
She had acted with General Virginia Russell's Community Playhouse.
I was in
And she
it
was
lots
in the
of
show
times.
this fall.
She did a good job with this one.
She was really fun.
Odd couple who did, just.
Her school teacher came through.
They were fun.
You could tell. Yeah, it was good. It was great. Anything else?
That's it. Thank you.
Thank y'all very much.
Thank you.
Thank you for being here. Good work.
Very good job.
Thank you.
The Board of City Commissioners may discuss and take action on the following agenda items. Item number 1, discussion and consideration of a proposal to form a committee to revitalize Ringing Lake Park. And that is going to be, all right, Darren.
Guess we don't have our slideshow.
I'm working on it. I'm working on it. Give me a minute.
Oh, you want
Is the back part of this a slideshow?
Yes.
I can do it without
I've
the
got it
slideshow.
right here.
The starting picture of the slideshow is what I find most, it catches me because it's an art cover done by a country music singer who wrote a song about our Ringling Lake.
Road.
Yep. Can you step to the
left just a little? Thank you.
Yeah, it's a good song.
Right there.
But he wrote a song, and I went through and I actually followed him on YouTube, and I listened to the story of why he wrote the song. He said he's never been to Eastland, Texas. He's never seen Ringling Lake. The reason he wrote the song is because so many people he ran into talked about Ringling Lake outside of Eastland, and he's never even been to Eastland. So I think that right there is a testament to how important what I'm about to talk about really is. If some guy from who knows where is going to write a song about this place, we should revitalize this place and make it a reason to write more songs.
He's my nephew.
Is he? Well, there we go.
You have to put that play on the career.
Yeah, I can't.
The
can't
freak
even come
show?
to a fundraiser for us. I've been
It's a
trying.
freak show Friday night. Okay. All right, go ahead.
Are we ready to go to the next slide?
Yes, we are. So tonight we want to thank you guys for allowing the Alliance for Eastland's Future, Jet and myself, to come here and speak to you to propose creating this board to revitalize our great Ringling Lake, the greatest show in Eastland County.
There you go.
So the opportunity we're bringing is Ringling Lake is Eastland's greatest untapped resource. It's greatest untapped asset. When you go out to Ringling, yeah, right now it's run down, it's overgrown. Some people think it's okay to throw trash out there. We'll get rid of them. But this lake has so much history, has so many, and I'm not talking just the Ringling brothers bringing their circus out or whether they did or didn't. Everybody likes to debate that. But the history for our local citizens, the stories that their families have told over generations about this property, I mean, it's got a magnetizing effect to it, and it brings other people from outside of our county to want to come check it out. And right now, I wouldn't invite them to. I mean, not necessarily. It's beautiful up there, but it needs some work. So our goal is to rebuild it, get it back to what it was, and give our children a chance to create those memories all over again. When I was a kid, my dad took me out there many times. Just like many of the kids I grew up with, their dads took them out there fishing, hiking. Some people got trucks stuck in the bottom of it. I don't want to see that again. But
Yes.
I mean, there's so many memories just for our local residents that everybody wants to see this thing. With the Alliance page that we have on Facebook, we have created several posts just testing the water, see if people even care. And every time we make a post about that lake, it gets thousands and thousands of views and interactions. And I think one of them got up to about 15,000 interactions and views just within a week. And it's everybody around this county wanting to share their experiences out there and share the stories they've heard, even though they haven't been out there. And a lot of people saying, hey, I want to go out there and experience that. So, I mean, just seeing that really motivated me to want to do something, you know? I mean, I want to do something for my community, and I couldn't see a better place to start to really give people the hope that they need, especially this day and age. That there's something beautiful out there that you can put your hands on, and we can draw our community in and get them to put their hands on it, make them proud again. So that when we want to do beautification projects, when we want to do stuff like that, they're like, oh, well, look what we did with Ringland. We could do that with the whole town. And that's where my motivation comes from. I want to inspire other people to want to beautify this town. And Ringland's the starting point. Ringland's where it's where we're going to be, where we need to be. So if you want to go to the next slide. So we propose the city to establish an exploratory committee to begin with, to see what it'll take to actually get Ringland up and going, and then form an official permanent board so that we can keep this lake up and going and it never falls back into the condition that it's in now. So that we create an opportunity for future investment from our community. We would like a city commission liaison, somebody from one of you guys to work with us, a city staff liaison to work with us, and 3 to 5 voting members of our board to actually vote on the things that matter most to our community and to us. And of course, we would love advisory people to come in, such as the police department, fire department, everybody to make this the safest place in the community where everybody can actually enjoy it. Next slide, please. The benefits to our community are innumerable. Like, you can't count them all, but the economic benefits I figured were worth highlighting, because like Gary said with the old zoo trail in Cisco, they're bringing people from out of state, and personally, it's a nice trail, but we have something that will bring people from out of country to see this place when we're done with it. We can bring all those people to Eastland, and they're going to be spending their money here, Walmart, our fast food places, hopefully our local coffee shops and our local people. But we will be putting people in hotels. And I know that for a fact because we've got the support of the local Cub Scouts and the Boy Scouts. They said if we had a local place where they could do all of their events, that they would be able to bring people into town that could invite troops from other areas. Currently, our local Cub Scouts go all the way to Abilene to Lake Tawakona. I'm sure I said that wrong. But they have to go all the way out there because they don't have a good local place to do all the things they need to get their badges and their loops and all those things. Ringland Lake is perfect. Public safety. This is a big piece of property north of our town, and largely it's unkept. So in our dry seasons, if we're not out there taking care of this place, that's a fire hazard. That's a safety issue for the whole town. So by having people out there constantly on site, looking at this place all the time, keeping it cleaned up, keeping it monitored, knowing when the underbrush is needing cleaned up, we can avoid fires. We can avoid people going out there and doing drugs, selling drugs, doing all the stuff that they would do if there's not foot traffic out there. We're reducing crime by having that. We're reducing fire hazards by having that. So for public safety, I mean, that's the best thing I can give you there. Accessibility. One of the biggest complaints we had when we were talking about Ringland Lake is that front gate is always locked, but the walking gate is open. Well, we have a lot of disabled citizens in our town and a lot of very elderly citizens in our town. They can't walk the nearly 2 miles up to the lake to enjoy it. And I understand why the gate's closed. Right now, I think it should be closed because people are tearing it up and we don't have a really good way to monitor it. But getting this place back up would allow these people access to a resource that their town owns. They could go up there and see all the fish jumping, which I was surprised by how many there are, and really enjoy what we have. And then, like I talked about in the beginning, the civic pride that we can foster with this project, because we aim to get the community involved with it. We don't want the city just dumping money on top of it. We don't want any one person feeling like they're doing it on their own. We want the whole city to come together, put their hands on it and say, this is ours. This belongs to us. That way, when any one person's up there, if they see somebody else trashing it, doing something wrong, they're going to say something about it. They're going to stop it. And that is going to filter down to the rest of our community. Because once they take pride of one thing in the community, they'll take pride in the whole community. The other thing I didn't add to this, but having this lake, having this property cleaned up is the first step to creating something that encourages our youth to stay in this town and stop moving away. Yes, we need more jobs, we need more houses, all that stuff's going to come. But we need places for them to go. Everybody wants to go out of town and go hiking. They want to go up north, go skiing and all this stuff. Well, maybe you don't have to spend a whole lot of money and leave Eastland to get some adventure. You got this big piece of property that's connected to 2 lakes, and both of them are beautiful lakes. So there's no reason we couldn't have this place up and going and have another factor for the youth to stay in this community. Next slide, please. These are numerous pictures from the community. This was from one of our Facebook posts that we put up, and we asked people who had been out there, who had explored it, to send us pictures that mattered to them. Send us memories from their life out there. Many people they gave us stories rather than pictures because they were too busy having fun to give us the pictures. But these pictures came from that. And I mean, I see kids enjoying life. I see people really enjoying this property out there. And this right here is a testament to why we should work on this place. Why we should get Ringland Lake to be the greatest show in Eastland County once again. And who knows, maybe some kids will grow up and lie and say some animals were out there that weren't out there. I mean, I'm all for it. I'll support them. Next slide, please. So our formal request for the commission is to establish the Exploratory Ringland Lake Revitalization Committee, appoint a commission liaison and a staff liaison, seat the alliance nominated community members, and authorize the committee to request and pre-approve city resources, things that are necessary to get the lake up and going. Next slide, please. In summary, this is a low-risk, high-reward partnership. The community is ready to volunteer. We seek the city's partnership just to provide a framework for our success. And together, we can set this thing up and make it beautiful, make it great. And I'm ready for any of your questions.
Okay. First, you talk about the safety of it. Is that a police or a county patrol? This county, isn't it?
It's part of the city, part of this county, but it's hard to patrol because there's no access to it out there. We don't have, I mean, the roads are pretty rough. And we don't really have the equipment to check the entire lake. but it's ours, I mean, we can take care of it.
Well, but is that in city property?
Yes.
Yes,
It's inside the city limits?
but the lake is, and around the lake is in the city property.
Okay. Can the gate be relocated? I know where the gate is. Would it benefit us to relocate that gate, move it to a different, farther up the road type of deal?
I would say, based off of my exploration of the place, I think the gate's in the best spot because where it is, you keep people from getting to the oil field equipment, you keep people from getting to the archery range, rifle range. Like where it is, it protects the property pretty well. Yes,
Okay.
sir.
I've talked to Tom. Tom is working with I guess you're overseeing the gun club and the archery club?
Gun club at the moment, yes.
Huh?
The gun club at the moment, yes.
Gun club? And I've talked to Tom, if everybody's okay with that, Tom being the commission liaison to help work with them because he's out there working on that and a part of that. It would be a good idea. Who's the staff person you come up with?
Can I ask a question on that? Are you needing like somebody to unlock gates, lock gates? What is the
That
staff
would be up to
side
you
of
guys.
it?
What you guys basically, we're just needing. I mean, you can fill that role. It's just somebody to answer questions for us when we need to know.
Okay.
Like what equipment we could get access to out there.
Well, I didn't
that
know.
sort of
See,
thing.
that's where I think Bobby might be better served, just because the guys are going to be the ones that are having to scheduling and things like that.
Yeah, we don't want to add any extra work to anybody.
I'll leave me as it, and then we can just go through the line from. If something should change, we can change it.
Okay.
Couldn't we give them access?
He's talking about equipment, getting a city
I know,
equipment.
but we also asked about getting through the gate and stuff. Would they have access?
They would, yeah.
Okay.
My question is, how does that work in conjunction to the gun club? When we release a bunch of people from the city to go out there, how does that work?
So the gun club sits on city property. It's leased to the gun club.
Yeah.
And it has its own gate to prevent people into the gun club that don't have a membership and all of that.
Yeah.
So
and that's part of.
It's farther down the road. The gun club.
So it's part of the overall Ringling Lake property,
Yeah.
but it is a sectioned off area that is specific to the gun club with access control specific to that group.
So there's no fear of people getting in and somebody possibly getting a stray bullet.
No, and the way the gun club's set up, all the direction of fire would be away from anything that would go out. I mean, it was designed properly through the state and everything.
And archery, somebody mentioned archery.
So archery. So when you go down the road, as you go down the road, and I can take you out there if you like, but if you go down the road, there's an archery range that's a separate club that I'm working with to help them kind of revitalize their group and their grounds as well. But there's a 3D walking target area over there. It doesn't have the same type of access control as the gun range, which that's one of the things I want to work with them on. But they are two separate areas. And then there's another gate that goes specifically out to Ringling Lake right now. That is because of the access control that we want to maintain until we actually get systems in place. And also because of the quality of the roads, we maintain two different access points so that we can keep larger vehicles that people used to get sunk out in the lake and people from going out there and doing unlawful things or whatever. We're maintaining that. But at some point, and I think Darren's point here is explore what our options are, be it moving a gate, access control, how do we revitalize the roads, the facilities, all that, so that we can then open it up on a temporary basis, a limited basis, and then grow from there so that we can start opening this up to the community. I will say that I, probably because I run the gun club too, have gotten a lot of phone calls from people going, how do I get access to the lake? I don't control the lake because it is separate property and it is a city thing. But that tells me that there's also a lot of interest there. I mean, I probably get a phone call every week or two for somebody trying to get access to the lake.
How many acres is it?
Last we looked, I thought it said something like 100 acres.
It's close.
It's more than that, I think. Well, maybe the lake just itself. I know the gun club is 86 acres.
Wow,
Wow.
that's a lot of maintenance to go in and get it fixed and look at it.
Now, this isn't an overnight plan either. We are thinking 5-10 years. Like we're going to do it right. We're not going to let it fall back into the condition it's in either. This is investment in time and effort for the whole community, and nobody deserves for it to get back this way.
The thing of it is, I haven't been out there in
Pardon me?
years.
267 acres.
Okay, thank you.
I know at one time, way back when, we had people going in there and they were allowed to. And things got so torn up, they were mudding, they were doing all kinds of stuff. And that's when they finally, the police department, they said, we can't control this. And they started, blocking that gate. And so it's been over a matter of time that it's gotten to where people are not allowed in there like they used to be. So what's going to keep that from happening again? We had scouts one time that came to us and wanted to, they held a weekend event out there. I don't know if you remember that.
Yeah, it was a good time, yeah.
Yeah, and so it's been used in the past, but it was demolished.
I will, if I may, Darren, one thing that I think will help them, because I've explored the same thing, because we had very similar issues with the gun club. I mean, I'll be honest, I was a member 4 years ago and quit going a couple years ago because it wasn't being maintained, and it was becoming just this Wild West where it was just getting demolished. It's a beautiful piece of property. And then I was asked to come back and actually take over the gun club. And my whole thing on that was, we have to be good stewards to our community. That's something that's been entrusted to us. So how do we, on a micro level, get that under control and get it cleaned up? And I've only been in charge of the gun club for 4 months now, 5 months. Our membership's higher than it's ever been. We have volunteers that come out monthly and help do cleanup days. We've had people volunteer their equipment and actually regrade some of the roads out there and clean it up, all on a volunteer basis. We've replaced some of the internet out there that we've had in the buildings to something stronger, actually utilizing Starlink. And that's given me the ability to upgrade and replace our cameras so we have better surveillance to see what's going on out there. We're getting ready to change our access control on the gate level to where we can see who's coming and going, both from a keypad entry and then also what type of vehicles are coming in. And all of that is so that we can get better control and we can deal with a situation immediately if it arises. Technology is allowing us.
We had a grant before that we were working on out there that was just, it was a big deal. I don't know, Richard, you probably remember the guy that came and he was always coming and giving us reports on what was going on out there. And I can't think of his name.
Had four-wheeler places to run and everything. Yeah.
Ken Chapman used to grade the roads and stuff and take care of the trails, because he wanted people to be able to use a four-wheeler and things that he sold, have a place to go ride them. He maintained that road for a long time.
But archery used to have some great deals out there.
So, I think technology, to answer the question, I think technology will help us be able to control a lot more of this.
Easier than it used to be.
Yeah, because just like the chief's putting out the cameras and stuff around the city, now we have a way of monitoring what's going on. Now we can get real-time access and deal with it as it happens. Problem is, people go out there prior to this and even until we put something in place and do stupid stuff. You don't know who it is, when it happened, what caused it, and people can keep just doing it. Well, now we'll know who it is. Now there'll be consequences. And I think with rallying the community, which is a big part of what Darren's put together here, we can take pride in it. Maybe we can cut down on some of that. People won't want to see it get
having access out there, people being out there will keep the who doesn't need to be out there away from there, because people out there are not going to allow them.
Exactly.
The eyes on. The fun part, my fun story about that is when Ron Duncan was here, I wanted to go out and see all that, see what was going on. And he got me in the police. Do y'all still have that Humvee? You should get rid of that. And that thing's very
I take you out mine.
But the fun part, when we went out there and we pulled up, there were two city employees sitting out there smoking. It was pretty funny when the city manager and the mayor just showed up in the middle of the day. So they've never been back, I don't think. But anyway, it's a great asset, and what you guys are wanting to do is wonderful. So as far as from us tonight, we've got Tom, if the commission approves, Bobby, if the commission approves, and then y'all can move forward what you're wanting to do and start that process. I noticed you put on here request city resources, and that's something you'll have to work with Bobby and Savannah to make sure we're using it appropriate. And I know you've got some volunteers that'll use some of their own stuff to help get that done. Okay. I think it's a wonderful plan.
Yeah, it's good.
I think it's another asset that we can.
I've been spending on this, remember that deal?
We need to get gate access where you use a credit card to get in, and we keep up with the people coming where they're coming from. Right?
You could.
And don't charge them $1, but we can get their access so we know who they're coming from.
Could do that.
We'll entertain a motion from the commission if you approve, if you agree for Tom and Bobby to serve with them and be the liaisons for them. And your committee will be 3 to 5 people. I'm assuming
We've got 5 people.
you got 5 people.
Is it gonna operate as a city board?
It'll operate as a committee, similar to like our,
So it doesn't have to have bylaws and all that, it's just gonna
Not
be
yet.
not yet.
They want to morph it into a board, but they're not there yet. Correct.
Yes.
Sorry.
Same type of thing as a park board. Entertain a motion.
I move we appoint, but we do appoint the committee and Tom is in charge of it for the city.
Okay, a motion from Richard to let them form their committee, exploratory committee right now and move forward with what they're trying to do, and Tom and Bobby be liaisons for that. Got a second?
I'll second that.
A second from Michael J. So, any other discussion? All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. Motion carries. Thank y'all. Appreciate it.
Thank you, Darren.
Working with y'all.
Thank you,
Appreciate
Jet.
That's it.
Thank you, Jet.
I can go shoot a pistol like that.
Item number 2,
Thanks, Jet.
discuss consideration of approved resolution 2026, thank you, Gary, -02, ordering the May 2nd, 2026 general election.
Are there any questions on this resolution? It's an annual.
Entertain a motion.
2 people are to be elected, Larry and, there's two commissioners.
Yeah, Richard and I.
Yeah, when are the sign-up dates? None of the dates were listed on here for anything.
January 14th through February 13th.
Through what?
February 13th.
February 15th, so it's already in effect.
Yes, ma'am.
I was thinking it was the last of January, but it's not. Okay.
I'll make
14th, February.
January 14th through February 15th of this year.
February 13th. It's a Friday.
What did I say?
15.
13th.
It's the 13th, the day before Valentine's Day, for deadline.
I'll make a motion to approve resolution 2026-02, ordering an election on May 2nd, 2026.
Second.
A motion from Tom, a second from Richard to order the election for May 2nd, 2026. Any other discussion? All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. Motion carried. Item number 3, discussion and consideration of the second reading of ordinance 29-925, an ordinance of the city of Eastland, Texas, amending chapter 19 zoning, article 1 zoning ordinance of the Eastland Code of Ordinances by revising section 19-11 permitted uses to allow tattoo and body piercing studios as permitted use in the local business C1 and general business C2 districts, and in light industrial L1 and heavy industrial H1 districts by right, providing repeating and severability clauses and providing an effective date. Someone said there's a map attached, but there's not.
There will be a map. It was given to you at the last meeting, and I don't see that it was attached to this one. This is the same ordinance, just second read. Are there any questions?
I don't have any questions.
I'll make a motion to approve the second and final reading of ordinance number 25-925.
Second.
Motion Shirley and second Richard to approve ordinance 25-925. Any other discussion? All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. Motion carried. Item number 4, discussion and consideration of second reading of ordinance 25-926, an ordinance of the city of Eastland, Texas, repealing and replacing ordinance number 25-915, adopting and amending comprehensive rate and fee schedules, establishing the rate and fees to be charged for city services, providing a repeating clause and providing a severability clause.
On page 6, there is the requested change to add the additional polycart for residential, and so it's $6.15 for the new rate. And that's on page 6.
And that was a requested change from the first reading?
Correct. That's the only change that we made.
I'll make a motion to approve on second reading ordinance 25-926, amending the rate and fee schedule.
Second.
Motion from Tom, the second from Richard, to approve ordinance 25-926. Any other discussion? All in favor say aye.
Alright.
Opposed, same sign. Motion carries. City manager's briefing.
Okay, so during the month of December, contractors have slowed really with both the GLO project and the water pump line project. GLO is still reviewing. Hopefully I have more information on that to approve the amendment. Once that approved, the road construction crew will be back in so they can do those amendments. Buyout is still being processed with GLO. Hopefully we have an update on that this week. Texas Water Development Board and the pump line, there's really no new update regarding that with Christmas. Contractors are intending to be back by the end of January. Downtown sidewalk repairs, TxDOT I spoke to TxDOT, Jordan Perry. He said that they're hopefully going to have a crew by the end of the month. Fingers crossed. As long as all their other jobs that they're working on, they're working a job in Ranger and they're working a job in Breckenridge. So whatever crew gets done first will be sent our way. Wildfire mitigation, we received both trucks after Christmas. One was returned on the day of delivery due to a mechanical failure in the transfer case. Bobby and I met with Roberts Truck Center, the dealer that we bought them from. They're waiting for the part to be delivered, and hopefully that should be done by the end of this week, delivered and installed by the end of this week, where we have the truck back either end of this week or next week. They're not quite sure. And they did not know how that happened or why it happened other than it happened. So we're getting it fixed, and that's all there is to that. And then Doug had already mentioned, but just to push this out there a little further, May 30th, 2026 is the first annual 5K. It's going to benefit the pool. All participants signed up to run will be able to swim following the race prior to it opening. So that's kind of your little ticket to swim before the big crowd of opening day comes out. You can find the link on our Facebook site and or come inside City Hall and sign up in person if you don't want to register online. Are there any questions with that?
Any questions for Savannah?
So the progress on the water line, it's been, I know over behind the old Tractor Supply, they've been gone for over a month. Nothing.
Yeah, they're working more than one job. That contract crew works more than one job, and so they are intending to be back by the end of January. And they've worked. I know that they stopped there and they went down by La Quinta and on the side of the cemetery. So they're all over.
Okay. End of January.
End of January is the estimated time. Yes.
You can get what year on there?
Yeah.
2026.
Let's check it. Get that on record.
No, they do have to meet a deadline, but they still have time.
8 years so far.
8 years, yeah, I know.
Yeah.
2028.
They've left that area pretty rough.
Okay,
Yeah.
I can let them know.
And, I mean, there's dirt piled up everywhere. There's machinery sitting.
Okay,
It makes it hard for the people to get in and get out of there.
okay.
It's been coming on 2 months maybe.
Well, let me make a phone call and let them know there's
Behind
issues.
Tractor Supply?
Yes, sir.
What needs to get in behind Tractor Supply?
There's a business back there, water business. The parking lot that's in adjacent to Maze.
Yeah.
So there's traffic in there.
Anything else for Savannah? Code compliance.
Commissioners, started December 43 cases. Terry opened 7 new cases, closed 12, and left us with 38. Out of those cases, there were 12 violations that were opened and 17 that were closed. Fines paid, 1,225. Fines dismissed, 893. And then you should have the case summary report that Terry does. You know this one?
Yeah.
Okay. And then, so it shows all those different cases that were open and closed during that time period.
I did. No, I did.
And then I also printed out and left for you the permit totals for 2025. The lion's share of permits were plumbing permits. We had 67 of those. Behind that were roofing permits, new construction. There were 18 permits, but there were actually more structures than that because all of the Maverick townhomes are on one permit. But that's, I want to say, 8 buildings with 54 units in it that they're still in the process of completing. So there were more structures in those 18 permits, but 18 permits for total. And then all the stuff down on Lynn's and Garvin was the lion's share of that as well. Left us with a total of permits, including everything else, 212 permits that were pulled for the city. We also had 2 special event permits and 1 right-of-way utility permit.
On the manufactured homes,
Yes, ma'am.
do they get a permit to just bring one in and park it?
To place it?
To place it, yeah.
Yes, ma'am.
Is that so we can hook up utilities, that kind of stuff? Make
Well,
sure
there's one to place it. There's a $10 permit to place it, and then whenever we did the plumbing permit, that part of the permit is free to hook water and sewer, but you still have to have a licensed plumber to do that work.
Right.
But that's included with the manufactured home permit.
Well, we were complimented again today, the city was, for how easy we are to work with the permits and permitting and stuff. And the fees are very reasonable.
Yes, sir.
So appreciate you getting on top of those and helping those folks out.
Yes, sir. We are working on some ordinances that will be coming up. I know that we talked about the tiny home ordinances. After getting feedback, we are going to be changing some things to that ordinance. I think after discussion, we realized that as a secondary use for tiny homes, I think that's a good one. But as far as a primary structure, I think that after talking to some other individuals that have worked here before and in some other cities, and with the CAD itself, there's an issue with a tiny home being a main structure that can cause problems. So we decided to remove that primary use, but keep it as a secondary use. So in addition to an existing home, you could have a tiny home there.
So are you gonna do away with tiny homes as a main residence?
As the primary structure on the
Really?
lot, I think that's what, after some discussion, we felt like that would probably be a more prudent move at this time. But allow it for a secondary use. So if you want to move one in for mother-in-law's quarters, or put one in the back if you have some space that you want to rent something out, I know that was something that Mr. Jackson was talking about when he was doing
Yeah,
this.
I thought we had already approved and agreed on
Yeah,
wanting tiny homes to be used as a primary.
That did not come to commission. It was Brian, I think, made the request.
But we talked about using them and agreeing that we thought it would
And
be
the-
good.
And then after the comments that we got back, and I think Tony had phone calls regarding those being primary use structures, and also the way that those are, that you can't regulate them. They're not regulating in a bad way, but we don't have like taxing the CAD. There was conversations with the CAD and on how taxing works with those. They're not a taxable property. Yeah. It's not like a home.
It was more like personal property than real property that would be taxed at the county. And there was an issue because there was some issues with the tiny homes when they were doing them around Lake Cisco. It caused some problems.
But
if they're built on that same owner's property, they tax the property itself.
So if it's built and not wheeled in, it's a
Right.
site-built home. That's no longer a tiny home. They can do that.
Because with tiny homes, most of them are constructed elsewhere and brought here. That's the problem. Because right now we don't have anything for somebody that wants to build a site-built home. We have no maximum or minimum size. So if you wanted to build one on your property, we don't have anything currently that relegates you to a maximum size that you have to meet, or a minimum size that you have to meet. When we're talking about the tiny homes are buildings that are constructed elsewhere as a complete unit and brought in and placed. And so that is more akin to like the modular homes and the manufactured homes, which are like state regulated. But with a tiny home, it's due to their size. It's something with that and with the it's more of a personal property than real property.
Than a home.
So if a person came in and they had a lot that they wanted to build on,
Mhm.
and they got a permit to build, and they wanted a tiny house on there, like 600 square feet,
If you want a stick built,
that could be done.
Yes. The only thing that this references is something being brought in, like on wheels,
well, not
Trailer.
really.
or on
something
Trailer.
that's something that is built and
Yeah.
already constructed
as a home.
at one point and then just moved in place. Whereas for a tiny home, if you want to build one yourself, that is just a small home. We don't have anything that's against that. It's just the difference between it being built elsewhere and brought in and being built on site.
But the way I understand it is if a home is up to a certain size, they are tax exempt. That's why you have people moving in those little tiny homes into RV parks, because they are not taxed. But once it gets to a certain size, then it is taxed, the way I understand it.
And what's the difference between a mobile home and a tiny home?
Well, it's to what it's engineered to. Like a mobile home and a manufactured home are two, or a manufactured home and a modular home are built in the same manner, but they're
Yes.
built to different codes. Manufactured home is built to HUD specifications. Modular home is built to ICC codes, just like a site-built home would be.
What about the tiny home park? Is that out?
Yeah.
With the tiny home park, that's different. Tiny home park, we've left that to where it would include tiny homes and tiny homes on wheels in those locations because it's similar to an RV anyway. So with that's a different type of animal.
But are
compared
you
to-
going to include those within the city limits, or they?
Yes, those are still in there because if in the packet we
On
had
certain property?
on certain property and certain zoning types, yes. Because just like now, if you have a large piece of property that's ag open or is in commercial or is in like the industrial, maybe not industrial areas, but I think we did light industrial. Those are big commercial properties that could be built out as an RV park or a tiny home park, and we're using basically the same regulations for both. Whether you do it as an RV park or a tiny home park, you could put, if it's on wheels, it's technically a vehicle per the state, so that could go in an RV park. But if you want to have tiny homes that are both placed there to use as right now as cabins, but they also have spaces for tiny home on wheels, that would be in a tiny home park. So basically the same thing, just different definitions, because one's going to be mostly for tiny homes, the other one is RVs and tiny home on wheels.
And the way that was drafted, you could put the tiny home anywhere. If you had a lot, you could just put it anywhere and use it as a primary residence.
I thought it had to be in a certain area. We were going to approve a certain area.
The way that was drafted, it was open for single family.
Yeah,
Anything,
the initial draft is what she's referring to.
The initial draft said single family, and you could go place a tiny home anywhere, as long as you had a lot and it was single family.
And so
I'll be interested in seeing what the next draft looks like.
Well, and that's the other thing is that once we make these changes, it will come officially to you, and then we can go through that again. And if you have something that you still feel needs to be tweaked, we can do it at that time. But right now, we were just going to get your initial thoughts from everybody, get it rewritten to officially bring to you at the next meeting. And that's what we're planning on doing, is bringing it to you the
It'll
next
be
meeting.
before the next meeting.
You have the rough draft of what we had before, right?
Yes.
Yeah, I mean,
When you make those changes, highlight, keep the old part and have the new part so we can see what's being changed. Now go back to the CAD. What did you say about the CAD?
There was I had a discussion, Bill Dolan had called me, and he had said, because he had heard about the RV, or the tiny home, ordinance that we were looking at, and he had said that there was an issue that had happened around Lake Cisco with the CAD and with the whole question about it being a primary, and that it had caused a problem. And so I had reached out to the CAD and I talked to, I think, Carrie, and she had emailed some information over that they had gotten from
Their
their attorney.
Mm-hmm.
And it was talking about how it, with it being a tiny home on there, they were arguing that it was not a home that could be taxed, that it was temporary, like personal property.
Because it wasn't a permanent tie. It's
And
not
so,
a permanent structure.
rather than have that problem come up, and also we were questioning, do we really want to have a primary structure that's a pre-built tiny home coming in to an area that's like next to yours, because there's some ag open out by your area, and we don't know if that would come into the city later. Is that going to cause a problem later on? And so we looked at it, basically it would be easier just to make them as a secondary use only, and not as a primary structure. Now the other thing is that with the Board of Adjustments and the Planning and Zoning, people can still come and try to petition for stuff, and it will still have to go before boards and y'all later on. But we wanted to set our bar at this point and just have them a secondary.
After the feedback that we received on that initial ordinance.
So if someone brings a pre-built home and sets it on a slab, even though they've done that and it's probably permanent, it's not considered a permanent structure.
From the wording of what we got from the CAD, yeah.
Based on square footage.
Mm-hmm. Based on that small square footage.
There's a lot of details in that.
It caused a problem, so.
But don't most people take the wheels off when they set them?
Well, and that's what we say whenever we were talking about that with, looking at it as a permanent structure. Tiny homes on wheels would only be allowed in RV parks. Okay. But still, I mean, it was on going off of what that letter had said. And I've slept since then, so I can't remember.
Are mobile homes not taxed?
Their personal property.
Huh?
Their personal property.
And I think it was the size was the issue with that between the mobile home or the manufactured home and a tiny
Less
home.
than so many square feet was an issue with it. And that's what the property owner was claiming. And so Bill was referencing that specific case.
Yeah.
And there was other feedback that, you wouldn't want, you have a neighborhood that has deed restrictions and then they can just come in and place a tiny home because they own that lot. And you allow it in a single family residence.
Because we don't enforce
Because
we don't enforce deed
It's going to be
restrictions.
under specific use permit.
The draft did not have that.
It had to be approved,
No, in the draft for single family, I think we had it as a specific use, but
Yeah,
only
I
in
think
single
so.
family, not in ag and the other one.
But ag, commercial.
Now we changed it in what we were talking about. We were going to change that,
Correct.
and then we decided just to go ahead and remove that, as a primary. But like I said, this is just what we're gonna the changes that we were gonna make and bring it to you. If you guys want to, whenever we bring it, if y'all want to, get together and talk more in depth at it when this comes, we can go back and rewrite it again.
Well, get it to us and mark up what you've changed,
Yes, sir.
and we'll go through. When we go through it in an official commission meeting, we don't have to approve it that night.
Correct.
We've got too many issues with it,
Correct.
but we can have. But I'm not buying all of this. I'm not.
Well,
Amen.
and that's the thing is like we're just going off of what we've got as feedback and what we're hearing. If you guys want to when you read through it, go back, and we can include what we got from the CAD with this whenever we send it to you guys, so you can read more in depth on what we got from them. And then, if you feel like you want to go back the other way, we can go back the other way.
Well, I just want to make sure we do it right the first time, and we don't run down hoops.
And we,
But my understanding, if you'd asked me before you ever started talking, we didn't approve this to be in single-family districts. That was already been struck out.
I think in the draft we had, it was in single family, but with a specific use permit, which would have to go through P&Z and y'all.
Have to be approved.
All right.
That was mine.
which would have probably pretty well killed it. But anyway, get it done and we will go through that.
Okay, and then the other thing we're gonna do is, there was discussion that came to us about directional signage for like a business that's off of the main drag that doesn't get a lot of attention, and so we're looking at that. We're in the process of getting stuff written up for that to bring next month, and we're going to kind of use the Pope Park sign as kind of a guide for that. But I think we can make something happen. So we'll have that to you next week.
So
Yes.
Tony, I have a quick question on your case summary here.
Yes, sir.
We have things that were open back in October 1st with no updates or movement since then. What is the typical time frame for some of these things to have second notices, updates, movement? We're going on close to 4 months on some of this stuff since last action or update.
I'm trying to think of what those two are, because I know that we've had discussions with, if it's what I'm thinking of, I think that's the people that had all the stuff out in the yard on the north side of the property that was across the street that was the business that did the CO. And I know that somebody that had owned the property had passed away, and I know that Terry has been in touch with them, but I'll get an update. I can get that sent out to y'all.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not questioning the specific property, just the normal course of resolution.
Right. Well, normally the way it's supposed to work is you have your 10 days to notify us what's going on, and then we try to go week by week with that, as either, if they're actually making stuff happen, we try to give them time to get it done before we try to throw another citation or something on. No, those should all be.
This is done on an Excel spreadsheet, right?
Yes, sir.
When y'all have your violations in your notes, you can put as much information there as you want to. It doesn't have to be that one little 2-line block.
Right, and I think that this is actually being created in the computer system that not Encode, the Concave that Terry uses to keep track of all these things. So is this
printed out of that, or is this printed
yes,
off
sir.
an Excel spreadsheet?
It creates an Excel spreadsheet from that and spits it out as an Excel.
He exports it. He actually saves it as a PDF.
Is there a limit to what they can put in the violation part?
I'd have to get with him on that.
I mean, because just like you looked at that and you didn't remember what it was, if we put notes in there, you'd know what it was when you looked at it.
Yeah.
I think that this is the category that he selects when it's in violation.
He can choose what to have it show up and what it doesn't.
But that's the drop down. So.
Or add another field that allows for notes or updates.
Yeah.
There might be something over here that he can.
I just want to make sure some of this, I want to make sure that we're taking action and moving forward and things don't get stale. I want to see things 3-4 months.
Okay.
Thank you.
Yes, sir.
Anything else for Tony? Police Department. You fits.
In the month of December, the police department answered 268 calls for service, 20 arrests were made, 44 offense reports were generated. We had 49 agency assists, 1,444 business checks were done. We worked 12 traffic crashes, 12 domestic disturbances, filed 14 cases with the district attorney's office, 0 juvenile cases again, did 12 open records. On the traffic side of things were a little light, usually are in December, but we're also a couple guys short. 70 citations were issued, 286 warnings were given, 356 total traffic contacts. The animal control side of things, they answered 172 calls for service, 6 citations were issued, 21 warnings were issued, 18 animals were impounded, 7 were adopted, and 0 were quarantined. We had 4 DWI arrests, 4 narcotics arrests, 5 felony warrants were served, and 7 other arrests to cover assaults and things like that. Officer Allman and our new canine officer Doc has hit the street, and they're doing well. They've had 4 positive alerts that all resulted in charges either for us or for other agencies. We had our Christmas party in December that went off very well. Sergeant Allman received 2025 Officer of the Year. We did have a storage building burglary. It ended up being kind of an inside job. They had access to a storage building there already, but they ended up hitting some other storage buildings. But through the work of several of the patrol officers and Detective McDade, We have recovered all the stuff that was stolen, and we filed several different cases, including burglary cases, and we put together a possession and distribution of methamphetamines case off of that case. So they did really well with that. So December was just kind of a busy month on arrests. It usually is. Domestics are always up. Everybody's together during Christmas. But the guys did really well. We have also, through donations from a private donator, we have received a second K9 unit now. We'll be picking him up pretty soon. So we'll have 2 K9 units out, which will help in our fight against narcotics in Eastland as well.
I have a question that just came to mind. Are those canines, are they insured just like the patrolmen are?
Yes, ma'am. In fact, when Buck died of cancer, Tony had an insurance policy taken out on Buck, so we were able to buy Buck, Doc with the insurance money that we had on him. And we'll have
I
it
never
on
thought
Buck.
about that until just.
Well, they're an animal, and they're very close to their canine handlers, and that's what I want. But to me, as a chief, they're an asset. So they're like a police car. So if one goes down, I need it back up and going. So we're excited about our canine program right now.
Who's the second canine going to be paired with?
Going to be Heath Oakley. He's just come on and been a fantastic officer, and he is really knocking down some narcotics and has a drive for it. So he's who I'm going to put in charge of that one.
Good deal. Have you found a name for the canine yet?
They have not. We've given them several ideas. Of course, it's up to the handler. I'll let him pick the name at the end of it. But they've got several out there. I just told them keep it short because each one of them numbers on the car costs me money. So, you know.
Can name them after a candy bar like Keith.
What did they name him? MAGA or Trump or something like that? So they're aimed towards something.
Anything else for Chief Pitts?
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you,
Chief.
very much.
Mr. Fry.
All right. The fire department was a little bit busier month, and we had 103 total calls, 2 building fires, 3 trash fires, 61 medical assists, 4 EMS calls, 1 motor vehicle accident with injuries, 9 without injuries, 3 hazardous condition, 2 lockouts, 4 public service, 8 dispatched canceled en route, 1 smoke detector due to malfunction, and another 5 additional smoke detectors with no fire unintentional. And just some notes, there was an increase in the calendar year. We had an increase of 121 total calls. We participated in 4 community parades, and we held our annual Christmas party, which was a great success. And we're working on, as we know, that we had a TFS grant. We have taken delivery of our new tanker, and we're also working on another grant for TFS grant for personal protective equipment and AED replacements. Beginning of January, we also switched over to a new national mandated reporting software. So hopefully going forward, we'll be able to provide the same quality data and maybe even better, some different report out abilities with the new software.
Medical assist jumped up to 61.
I think that includes, yes. We had a lot of medical related calls.
Nothing specific to that. Your 8 canceled en route.
So yes, that's additionally
Dispatching canceled en route.
that could be for various reasons. Is why they get canceled. Either somebody else was on scene and determined we didn't need fire, or a lot of times the EMS will get there and they'll cancel us and tell us they don't need us.
Are you on top of that? Do you know what those are?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Stay on top of that one. That's been a problem in the past. Is the tanker in service? Is it ready to go now? Y'all got it?
It's not quite ready. We're
Okay.
working on
Equipment and decals and all that stuff.
what we need, what we can get on it.
Well, when will that be in service, you know?
I don't have a definite date. We are planning on doing a formal push-in ceremony once we
Okay.
get everything situated.
All right. Any other questions for Chief Bradman?
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Yes, sir.
Municipal court? Anything to add to that?
Unless you have any questions.
Okay.
Next question.
Yes.
Thanks, Chief Pitts. I was wondering, juvenile issues that we're having seem to be down to nothing. What are we doing? How's that happening?
I think our SROs are doing a fantastic job of school, staying on top of things. We've had a few little issues, but nothing that we've had to take before court.
Yeah.
So, we're just pretty on top of things.
That's a great number. When so many cities have so many issues with
And
youth.
it hits us in waves, you know, we'll go along 2 or 3 months and not have any, then have 30. But, so far, we've been pretty lucky there.
Thank you.
Entertain a motion.
I'll make a motion to dismiss.
A motion to adjourn.
Adjourn, excuse me.
Oh, yeah, they got that deal, update on the carbon classic. Thanking us for our involvement, and
Yeah.
I'm sure we'll get an opportunity to do that again.
I would like Billy Bob, the next time around, bring numbers. The last time, we never really saw anything, about numbers of heads in beds, the effect that it had on the community. I've got a lot of questions about that.
Okay.
I just don't think it paid for itself with us, with heads in beds.
Okay.
And I'd like to see him bring some numbers forward instead of this kind of stuff.
Did you go out there?
I did. And being in that industry for 30 years, I saw a lot of trailers there that pull in and pull out. Because the horses are saddled, it's a different kind of trailer. They weren't sleeping here because they had to put the horses up, so they were going home. The number of living quarter trailers were out there, which means they've got a small apartment in front of them and they're staying in them overnight, tying the horses up and or using stalls. There wasn't hardly any of those. So, you know, the effect on the community for what we pay for that, I have some questions.
Okay.
So,
When
next
you
time
come,
around.
when you ask them to put on the agenda, we can deliver that message.
Well, I think we requested that once before about just overall trends and not just for that specific event, but
Yes.
you know, how these events that we're investing in are translating into the trends of the hotels.
And the Lyric did a great job.
Yeah,
They came back with the numbers and stats and, boy, that was informative. They're doing a great job and improving.
Gary has offered, and I'm assuming he's talking to other people, about helping them find where those numbers come from and how he's pulling those up.
Yeah.
For other things people are doing to support what they're doing, the hotel motel. I'm sure entertaining a motion.
Yeah.
Motion to adjourn.
Reactivate that motion.
What was your motion again?
To be dismissed.
Can I get out of here?
We'll wait for one to adjourn. Any big words? Will we get a second? Richard got a second. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Thank you very much.
Number 2 man all the time.